Actually, I was in the States when I started to write the book. And I was in this area of the United States that I know very well because I used to go there every year since I'm a kid. So I really know this place like home, you know. And as I was there, I was like, why not, you know? Why not should I try to set the story here? And it was very interesting for me because for the first time I had the setting of the story, the place, before the plot, before the plan of the what is going to happen in that. And that was very interesting for me because I just saw this house in Maine. That is the house that I used for the plot, Harry Quebert's house. And I was like, what will happen here? And I just made a draw of the house, and I just kept it in my mind, and it started growing and growing. And then I figured out the character of Harry and Marcus, and then the plot began. Yeah, sure, because there's so many moments you're like, I just should drop this off, you know. It's too long, the story is not good. And even when it was done, you know, I was sure that no one will read this book. I was like, it's too long, why? I was even angry against myself. I was like, but why did I write such a long story? It's too long, and no one is gonna be hooked by that. And that's why I'm very surprised when people are like, yeah, but we love the story, we read your book in 3 days. 3 days, oh, wow, that's amazing. And so there were a lot of tough moments, not difficult, but just tough, a lot of doubt, you know, on the story, on the purpose of the book, on the meaning of the book. Was I very into doing this book or not, because it was such a long process. And in the end, of course, I was. Harry is Marcus' teacher, former teacher, and he is a writer, very famous writer in the States, and he has released this book in 1974, Origin of Evil, and he's since that he's very known, and he has done few other books, but he's still living on the success of this novel. And 30 and few years later, he's still the guy that wrote this book 30 years ago, you know. And so he's a kind of myth in the States. He's a kind of very important person, very respected. But on the other hand, we quickly realize that he's someone that he's very alone, and that is always looking back in the past, and that is always living with the past. And so the question for Marcus and his book is, what happened in the past? But you have to read the book to know that. I won't tell you. In the next book, I will write that I can fly or anything. No, I mean, you know, it's always very easy to make a prophecy afterward. I mean, when I wrote the book, I was absolutely not known at all, and it was my sixth book, because it's my second one that is published. There were 5 before that no one wanted to read, and all the publishers turned out. So for me, I was really not into like trying to create a prophecy for myself. I was just trying to imagine a story far from what I was, and as I was a non-successful author, I wanted the character of Marcus to be a successful author, just to change the reality, to be in a true fiction. And that's why I decided that. But I'm very aware that the success is that in my success, there's a big part of luck. No, but it's a good question, and the answer, I mean, the most clear answer is to say there's 2 actions. There's one in 1975, and there's one in 2008. And it's like if you have to play with, you know, the water level. You have 2 bottles, and you have something in between that create a leak between them, and you want always the level to be the same. Same level of water in 1975 and same in 2008, which means that when you add here, you have to add here. And if you take out here, you have to take out here, you know, otherwise the level is not the same. And that's exactly that. And the beauty of a book is that you can go back and forward in the story. It's not a house. If you build a house, when you made the roof, you cannot say, oh, I would like to add a room here, because you have to break everything. A book, you can finish the book, read the book again, and say, oh, I should change that and that. And so you have the time to be sure that everything works very, very properly.